Morning guys, we have a really amazing, exciting, emotional video for you today.
What we've done is we've scoured SeaPeople for really incredible stories that we can bring to you guys. I was astonished at what we unearthed.
Yeah, there's tales of a pretty scary rescue mission. We have a man who's living his last days on this earth to the absolute fullest. And then a trio of friends who found each other.
And in the meantime, what we're doing today is we've left our spot over here. We're heading south down the east side of the island to a bit of an unknown destination. Jai's surprising us.
Yeah.
And we're going to be free diving. We're going to have a look for some fish.
The ocean is dead flat today, so lots of diving.
We'd really like to extend our deepest thanks to the people in this video for trusting us with your stories. The selflessness and generosity of strangers and the courage shown in the face of the most difficult circumstances imaginable, and all for family. It was just something, like an attitude that I will just never forget. And I hope that in difficult times in the future, I'm really able to remember this.
No, you can pay. You want. You look like the hunchback.
I am Cornholio. Fosbury.
About to hop in the water. What's going on, fellas?
It's all happening. We're coming out to this shoal that comes out of like 2,000 meters of water up to about 20, I think is the top. And we're just looking at the big current line, and there's like thousands of birds swirling around.
Because if there's any bait on the surface, you might push it down. Yeah, and swim over there. The current, if it's going the way that we think it should, push you that way.
One of Jai's friends just messaged him saying that he got a tuna here, yeah?
Yeah.
We're going up current and drifting back over. The current's going very fast. I'd say probably 3 knots, maybe even a touch more. There's a bunch of sharks, and I just swam down and I saw a rainbow runner, but there was like 20 sharks down there, and I was like, I'm not sure if you're quite worth the hassle, mate. So I let him swim away, but Elena said, no, we're going to go back and try and get one. So same thing, up current to where all of the water is hitting this seamount and pushing all of the little
nutrients.
Fish and then the bigger fish and nutrients and all that sort of stuff, and that's where everything's hanging out, just up here. The sharks just kept coming in by the dozen. A sharknado would definitely form in seconds of shooting a fish here. So even though Elena was egging us on, we decided that it would be prudent to not pull the trigger. We did, however, find a more peaceful catch. So we've jumped back on board. We're now headed up around to our little anchorage here, and I wanted to share with you guys a story. So it's 2 girls, Miriam and Jess.
Hi, I'm Miriam.
And I'm Jess.
And we're about to finish rowing across the Pacific Ocean.
And their mission statement from their website that I just saw, rowing up to 15 hours a day, the voyage could take around 6 months. When not rowing, they'll be sleeping or eating, requiring approximately 5,000 calories a day, which is a lot of calories. So the 2 girls met a guy named Alec via SeaPeople, and he was helping them prepare the boat. They left on their 8,000 nautical mile journey, leg 1, and of course, disaster strikes, as is often the case on the ocean. So they were tracking on SeaPeople and communicating with Alec. He actually was sailing across himself. He diverted course, came and picked up the girls, tied them to his boat and sailed them upwind back to Peru for, I don't know, it was a long, long time. I know enough about the ocean that I have no idea what they would have gone through. That's just massive. Anyway, thanks so much to Alec. That story just absolutely blew me away. I really couldn't believe it.
We're on parachute anchor right now, and Mim's just spotted that the rudder had completely clean snapped.
Hi, I'm Miriam.
And I'm Jess.
And we're about to finish rowing across the Pacific Ocean. We have about 1,300 miles of our trip left.
We started off in Lima, Peru, and we're rowing to Cairns, Australia. It's a trip of about 8,000 miles.
And we're aiming to be the first women's team to row the Pacific Ocean non-stop and unsupported.
Hi, I'm Alec Hughes. I was the one that saved the girls when they broke the rudder. My ocean life, my sailing life. Sailing is my passion. It started when I was 6. I inherited from my dad from Uruguay. My grandfather was the first Uruguayan to cross the Atlantic in 1951. Yeah, so this is the story. We became really good friends when they arrived in Peru. Even Jess and the team wrote to me through SeaPeople, because they were going to arrive in Peru. They didn't know too much people. Of course, I was one of the sailors there.
So Alec not only helped us with the rescue, but rescued us with Peruvian customs. He managed to find all the contacts we needed and gathered support from people like the finance minister of Peru and the head of the Navy. He also helped us with tasks on land and took us to all the places that we needed to buy things from. We used to joke that Alec was our genie, and we used to say, oh, I could really do with Alec's help right now, and he'd just appear on his stand-up paddleboard out of nowhere, being like, you needed me.
We were hanging out together like for almost 4 months before the trip. I was doing some translation with the authorities, with Miriam and Jess. They had so much difficult things going on, importing the boat and all that logistics I'm not going to go into. But really, we really connected. First, I saw them leave twice, right? The first time it was we got the Navy with a beautiful band.
So before the rudder broke, we were having a really good time. We had been at sea for a week. We were just settling into our 2 hours on, 2 hours off shift patterns. We were a bit sleep deprived from just all of the work we were having to do to just get the boat ready for the date we wanted to leave. But everything was fine, and everything just sort of went downhill quite quickly.
So on day 6 of our first attempt, we got pinned by the wind about 2 a.m. in the morning. We could not get the boat back round. We spent half a day trying to turn it round, and we're so confused why we could not shift the boat, because we only had about 18 knot winds. So I looked out the hatch in the top of the stern cabin and saw that the rudder was at a 90-degree angle to what it should have been, and thought, I don't think that's a trick of the water and the lights.
Well, actually, I decided to go to pick them up almost 670 miles till I reached them. We used SeaPeople with their GPS tracker and the angle of every person when you can see it in the GPS section in SeaPeople. That helped me. The conditions were extreme for rescuing somebody. So long story short, we were amazed to know they were close. We were talking in the VHF. It was really emotional.
So initially, when the rudder broke, we were both really frustrated. We spent over 2 years preparing for our expedition, and frustration grew even more when we found out that our spare rudder wasn't fit for purpose. And we also tried to drill into our dagger board to turn that into the rudder as a last backup. But all of our plan Bs failed, sadly. We spent about 8 days on parachute anchor, waiting it out, drifting slowly north and waiting for Alec, our absolute hero. When we saw his white sails over the horizon, it was just a massive relief to know that we would be towed back to land.
Actually, it took me 10 days. It was like almost, for me, it was like the 600, 700 plus miles, and it was upwind the way back. We had to go at 3.5 knots, and Velocity needed the ballast with them inside, so they couldn't come in.
Alec was really patient and towed our boats at about 3 knots just so our boat didn't get damaged, as rowing boats really aren't meant to be towed.
Social distancing on the radio and making fun jokes and everything was really cool. Yeah, sharing songs and... So definitely this is something that was meant to be. It's meant to be for me as a sailor, and being rescued such amazing friends. And they're gonna beat a record of being the first woman team, human team, to cross the Pacific. So I'm really proud of them.
Alex sacrificed so much to come and get us. It meant that his circumnavigation started a lot later. He had to miss out Hawaii, which we knew he was really excited about, and a lot of his boat repairs had to be rushed in order for him to get to us.
We're sea people, we're ocean people, right? So we got to look for each other, and that's one of the main things that I think we all should think about this. Even though we met somebody for 3-4 months, that person can save your life too, right?
So it was a race against time once we got back to land, as we didn't have long before we missed the weather window. This was a boat builder from the UK, flew out with spare rudders. We made the repairs, got the rudders fitted, checked they were all okay, resupplied the food that we'd eaten while we were on par anchor, and then got back out on the Pacific after 5 days with a couple of days to spare.
Watching them leave was an amazing example of courage and endurance.
Luckily, there was a plan in place very quickly. We have a support team back home who put plans in place to get new rudders made. We actually have 4 rudders on board, just in case it were to happen again.
4 times.
Yeah, well, let's just say we've been very, very lucky.
Thank you, Sea People, because it's been an incredible tool. So not only the social part, but the statistics about the boat, the 24-hour miles, the highest speeds and everything. So it's been an incredible tool for us.
The girls have since made it all the way to Australia after 165 days at sea. They are officially the first all-women's team to ever row non-stop across the Pacific Ocean, and they've raised over £100,000 for charity along the way. Incredible effort, ladies. Oh, it's hot.
So what am I supposed to be saying? Calling him?
Jai set us up with his friend.
Okay.
We're just trying to call him.
Thanks, Jai.
To make sure he's there. Well, we just arrived at our island.
You want to go fast? Yeah, your chicken jockey.
So we can get off here and you can tie up on the boat.
It is a machete.
Mama, be careful for the knife. There's a
Thanks,
knife.
Bob. Thank you.
Should have like a loudspeaker.
Yeah. And now we are looking at.
Yeah.
Welcome to Angaur. Population just over 100. It's a place shaped by phosphate mining, war, and the slow return of nature. Japanese bunkers still hide in the jungle, and long-tailed macaques, Riley's favourite, are the only wild monkeys in Palau.
The macaques.
And they roam freely by the dozen. We'd been dying to see this island, and Jai's local friend was about to show us a side of history now swallowed by the forest. We just stopped at an aeroplane boneyard. I can already see propellers. Lenny, this is your dream. Come on, let's go see.
Yes.
Airplane boneyards from World War II.
Let's talk.
There's one in the tree over here.
Is it hurting the tree? I think it is hurting the tree a lot.
You think
I
so?
think the tree's hurting the propeller.
Come this way, guys.
The
tree's growing around the propeller.
And the propeller's hurting the tree. The more the tree hurts, the
After the war, they came and put these planes here after they'd crashed. But Bonnie was just saying that the US government gave them the location for a gravesite recently, and so only yesterday a whole bunch of Japanese people left. They came and identified, got DNA from the bones, and then burnt the bones. That happened just yesterday.
lots and lots of stuff in there. You may look at that mushroom.
Hey, monkey.
Hi, monkey.
We couldn't think of a better way to celebrate Sea People's first birthday, sailing with our kids and crew to an island few ever get to visit. Before we share our next heartfelt story, we're diving into the story of Angaur, and it's one you won't believe. Tiny hole.
If you could hear us.
Probably.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, bro? What are you up to?
Thanks for coming. My name's Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Yeah. Who's Lydia?
This is Lydia.
Oh, okay, so I'm the one who's contacting with you?
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you guys. This is the first child's birth ceremony that's only held in Angaur, and depending on how high your clan is inside in the society, is how many steps that they get up. And then first child, like a movie. What was the movie, Mustafa?
Lion King.
Lion King. Oh, yeah. Circle of life. Up in there, singing it in Palauan, but.
Wow. They take the baby up then.
They take the baby up there. And
cool.
Huh?
Everyone's just on the island doing a little tour around this island today, having a bit of explore. And I'm out here on the Vagabond. I think it's the clearest water I've seen in such a long time. So I came back up. I had to get the GoPro to show you guys how clear it is.
The Germans were looking for coal, and they ended up finding phosphate. And phosphate at that time, it was very valuable because they used it to make explosives and stuff. In World War I, Germany, those are during those times.
Mission from Wakti to Palau. 13th Air Force Heavies took off on their first operation to make the first daylight raid on Palau. Palau is an important Jap base about 600 miles east of the Philippines. 15 September, Marines invaded Palau, and major resistance ended the 19th.
As Eric spoke, we began to understand just how deep Angaur's phosphite mines and their story really run. They were first carved by the Germans in the early 1900s, then expanded under Japanese rule. Over 3 million tons were taken for global agriculture and weapons, leaving the island stripped bare. The digging poisoned the freshwater supply, and with the salt water seeping in, locals were left without safe drinking water. Many had to leave. Now the island tells a different story. Saltwater crocs thrive in the old mining ponds, sharing the overgrown jungle with crab-eating macaques that were introduced more than a century ago by German scientists, supposedly to conduct experiments. The monkeys have flourished without natural predators, though they're an invasive species and the locals were not particularly fond of them.
I never catch one in real life. It's peed on me. Can I wipe it on my shirt? Alright, bye, Mr. Frog. You can go wherever you want.
Yeah, he did pee on you, didn't he?
Ew, don't put it on your face. Because he was a bit scared. The bottoms of your feet are okay, but if you put your foot into a hole...
You all know what this is? It's a big pile of dirt. Okay, next.
I've just disappeared from the rest of the crew to have a little chat to you guys. I really wanted to share the next story with you. This is a story of a 35-year-old man. His name's Zachary. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer and decided instead of retreating from life, he wanted to fully embrace it. He's now on board a 65-foot vessel, once used as a patrol vessel, later for seafood transport, but it's since been modified to suit him and his family, his wife Andrea and his 5-year-old daughter Isabella. They're cruising the rugged coastlines of Newfoundland right now. Zachary, he also said that every mile logged was a record of time lived well and also a gift of memories for his daughter.
My name's Zachary Stroud. I was born and raised in Grand Falls, Windsor, Newfoundland, Canada, and I'm 35 years old with a wife and daughter. I used to joke around with my wife saying that, you know, maybe somebody out there would hear my story or something and loan me a boat so that I don't have to buy one. I actually had that conversation at least a half a dozen times, sort of joking around with her. So Kyle messaged me and said, he told me it was a 50-footer actually. When I went out and looked at it, it was actually 65 or whatever. It used to be a DFO patrol boat that they used here. It was built in 1965. It's all oak wood. It never got fiberglassed until the 90s. I went out and looked at the boat like probably 2 times with him or whatever, and he wanted to do the trade for my other boat. But after I got talking to him and I explained my story and my situation and that I was just needed it for the summer basically, and I was joking around with him about actually buying the boat back off me if we'd done the deal or whatever. And when I called him back to do the deal, he said, no, he said, I don't want your boat now. He said, I want you to just come take the boat. He said, fix it up, do what you want with it. She's yours till the summer's over, till whenever, not even till the summer's over. He said, basically you can have her for the rest of your life, Zach. Like, go do what you want with her. And then when you're done with her, call me and I'll come bring her home and get her back. So the dream of the trip was, originally I was going to do the Great American Loop, but that obviously was way too much for me to take on in the time frame that I had to take it on. So once I realized that, I was like, I should go around my own province, the island. It's 1,800 miles roughly, I think it is, right around the island. Like if you don't, now it'd take a little more than that if you went in every bay and every arm, but just to go around it was about 1,800 miles. So when we first got on the way, it was sort of surreal. I mean, we were already after being out for a few weekends and trips and stuff, but once we were like headed out the harbor from Botwood, I think it was like around 8 p.m. or something, and we only had like 4 hours to our first destination. Say I had a friend at a cabin that was there with a couple people and a couple kids or whatever. So we got there at like 10:30 at night or whatever. We pulled up in this little cove or whatever with the flashlights, and he was in on the beach. I felt good about the trip right from the beginning. So basically, what made me decide to go to the doctor was I was back and forth there for pains in my side, in my back, and because I was like a young 31-year-old or whatever, half healthy, they sort of just shrugged me off. Oh, he's probably a fly biter, probably this or probably that. After about 2 years of that, I finally had enough or whatever, and the nurse practitioner office opened up around here, and I explained to him, like, you know, I used to be able to climb poles and towers and hanging out of helicopters, and I've done it all. So now I got to lift my left leg aboard the car, so in the morning just to get in there. I just started the 2 businesses, so you know, I wasn't really worried about, oh, my leg was a little sore. I just threw my leg in the car and went on, hey. But then after he came and seen me at the garage, and I showed him how I couldn't walk, I couldn't do this and that, he sent me for a CT scan, and as soon as they done the CT scan, they found first he said a 20-centimeter tumor. But what it was is the tumor went out of the picture at 20 centimeters. So they sent me for another CT scan, and then it came back, it was 36 centimeters. And that was in my abdomen, grew down through my hip into my leg muscle, into my femur. There was never if they were going to take the tumor out. It was always, oh yeah, we're going to just got to shrink it a little bit first, and then we're going to take it out, whatever it is. So at the end of all the radiation and chemo or whatever, we came back to Newfoundland, and I was waiting to hear back from the surgeons to see what the next plan of attack was. And that's when I got the call in April 2024, saying basically, you know, there was nothing else they could do for me, and I should get my affairs in order and go enjoy the time that I got left with my family. Because if they had done the surgery that they would have needed to do, they would have had to like paralyze me, and I wouldn't have had any quality of life left. Basically, it was better off leaving the tumor in there and managing it so well as I could, and enjoying the remainder of my life rather than being stuck bedridden and not being able to move. The important things in life are your family and spending time together and making memories and making sure that your family knows that you love them, and being able to get out on the water there for 45 days with my family, and just, you know, there was nowhere to go. We were already where we needed to be, and just spend time together and go see the sights, and that was awesome. That was for sure a trip of a lifetime. So it was real important for me to track and log this trip, because I wanted to have something to pass on to my daughter's only, she's 4 now, she'll be 5 in another week or 2. I really wanted her to have something when this is over that, you know, in 3 years' time, she can be like, oh yeah, I remember day 3 we were here, or day 4 we were this place, and to have stuff to look back on and remember me by, basically, right? This is more about creating something that lasts for me and my daughter and my wife than it is for anything else. Like I think the SeaPeople app was really cool. Like I never heard of that at all till we left. Once we untied the boat from Botwood, and then within the first few hours, that was my first thing. I was like, I got to figure it away now that I'm going to like check in and track this trip around the island. There were 2 or 3 apps there that I looked through really briefly, but SeaPeople jumped right out. It was easy to use, and as soon as I got logged in and hit the buttons, it was like, oh, we were on our way, and that was it. Now that I've done the trip, I can't imagine not doing it, and I just wish I'd done it when I was even younger, smaller boat, whatever. Like I could have went camping a lot. Like looking back at it, it seemed like a big thing when you talk about it, but once you get at it, it's really just, you know, 1 mile after another, it's all the same. That was a big reason of why I wanted to do this trip too, so that my daughter and wife can look back at it when I'm gone or whatever and be like, oh, well, we can go do this, you know, Dad done it. Or like I wasn't a sailor, or I wasn't a fisherman, or I wasn't anything to do. Like my wife is a nurse and I was a power line technician. So, but I could have never done it without her and her support either. And she definitely enjoyed it, but it was more or less her coming along for the ride, helping me reach my goal to do it or whatever. But it was real important for me for just to show Isabella, because Like, she's so young now, so it don't mean a lot to her right now, but when she's 10 and as she grows up, she's going to realize, oh geez, not many people went around Newfoundland on a boat like that before. And I just want her to have something to be proud of, and to know that whatever she goes at in life, it doesn't matter. If she can dream it, she can do it. You know, like, there's so much information out there now. Like, if you put your mind to it, there's not much you can't do as far as I'm concerned.
We're all pretty lost for words here, but we'll try. Thank you so much, Zachary, for sharing your story with us, mate, and for trusting us to help remind your wife and daughter of the incredible voyage that you undertook. Well done.
And I actually asked Zachary to set up a GoFundMe so that we could all help support his family and little Isabella's future. If you'd like to contribute, any amount would mean so much. You can find the link in the description below. Thank you.
Bye.
So, Jay, you anchored the boat whilst we were gone?
Yeah.
What else did you do?
Just did some cleaning.
What else?
Went for a swim. What else? Some voiceovers.
So there's little crocodiles that live in the mangroves at Peleliu, and when they get over 3 feet, there's not enough crabs for them to eat, and they come here and start eating the monkeys.
And somehow they just know that they're, like, it's here.
They just know that there's...
Monkey hunters.
Happy birthday, SeaPeople!
Oh, the candle fell out already.
What on earth? Guys, this is hilarious! You guys are so funny! No better reason to bring out a platter, but really, every day we're here is worth celebrating. Life doesn't need an occasion. Sometimes the fact that we're here at all is enough. I think we'll start doing this more often.
Whose birthday is it? Okay.
SeaPeople's birthday.
You mean the SeaPeople a people?
No, it's an app on my phone.
Okay, that's not a people.
West has got the spot over there.
I don't even know where you are. Oh yeah. This is the spot.
Sorry. Sorry. I'll ask these boys, are we worried about the anchorage tonight?
Nah.
No.
Slide.
I say no.
We'll see.
I say
We're on the edge of like a little wall and a little shelf, so it's not really a nice sandy bottom.
It might be a bit rocky and rolling. I might have deleted all my anchor log apps. How dare I?
The forecast looks really good. Like, there's not much wind coming. We've had glass outs most nights, and yeah, the only worry would just be if there's a bit of current or a bit of a storm that comes through. But otherwise, it looks fine. Should be safe.
Current would be fine, but wind against current would be horrible.
So good.
What is it for tonight?
I just said I wasn't hungry at all, like I could have skipped dinner, but I knew that this was going to be so good. It's naughty me.
Wait, do you even want that in Montreal?
Beef shabu shabu.
Then I will have that, and you can have the black.
Lucky boys, you got a Kinder Surprise today and you get a hot chocolate. This is cute, hey?
Alright. It's harder than it looks. I don't know what it is.
Good night. No one could really sleep last night from the sound of the anchor chain. We swung around in the night with some clouds came and it rained. Riley's been up since 2:30. The rest of us since 5.
No, that means I do this.
How's everyone feeling today? You get a good sleep? Fresh?
Really good sleep actually.
Oh, that's
well, we
so
woke
good.
up at 4:50 in the morning to rain, but then crawled back into bed with a half asleep Axel.
Oh yeah, and when you crawled into bed with Axel, what did he say?
Yo! I was like, it's just me, it's just raining outside. And then a few hours later, he's like, what's that music? And it was my alarm going off.
I'm sorry.
And then he went, I'm dreaming about having an afro. It looks really cool.
I was in a different state.
How did you guys sleep?
Not too bad. I woken up with that rain, but yeah, otherwise not too bad.
Axel?
I woke up for the rain, and I didn't think I was going to be able to fall back asleep, but then I did.
Nice.
And I had a great sleep. Hopefully I wasn't too rude.
It doesn't sound like you were.
You, babe?
No, not bad. I had a nightmare at 2:30.
What was
woke
it?
up. Can't remember now.
We're going to move spots today. We're going to take the kids to the beach this morning. I might do a workout, a little bit of work.
I'm going to play Smacky Wacky.
You just love interrupting me this morning, don't you?
See the progress you've made.
Wow, guys, come look at this. This island is seriously so stunning. Actually, our tour guide yesterday, well, we picked up another fella, Eric, who's an absolute legend, and he's watching the show, so hey Eric. He said that in this little port here a couple of years ago, a lady was swimming, a tourist, and her fins got bit by a crocodile. So they're definitely around here. They're really popular on this island and the one next door. You wouldn't believe how many comments we get about what we eat on board and our fitness routine. We've always been a bit hesitant to post videos like that because we'll get the classic, "You're not sailing anymore" comments. But if you'd actually like to see a video about how we stay fit and what we eat whilst living on the boat, comment fitness below, and if we get over 1,000, we're gonna make the video happen.
Today we are slipping on a slippy slip. See that boat over there? That is our boat.
What's the boat called?
The Vagabond. Watch the video and subscribe.
Ooh, come here. And can I just take a second for Lydia? She has slipped into the Vagabond family so effortlessly and adapted to boat life like she's been here all along. Thanks for being an absolute legend, Lydia. We love you.
And don't forget to like the video.
Got my own personal sun creamer here.
Pumpkin gnocchi.
And turmeric chicken, some kind of coconut creamy turmeric chicken. But we're already regretting our choices with the gnocchi because it's taking a very long time. And we don't have the right flour. It's some kind of, what is it, Japanese red flour? But it's going to be fine. It's going to be delicious.
It's gonna be fine.
God, my awful chopping skills.
Any whales, West?
No, I saw some dolphins.
Okay.
No whales yet, though. How's your steering?
Dunno, you tell me.
Not crashing yet?
Haven't crashed yet, haven't run aground yet. So far so good.
Another story for you guys. This one is about a trio of friends. They started off as strangers, found each other on SeaPeople, started messaging, and now they are on adventures together doing some pretty rad stuff.
My name is Xander. I'm from Maine, and my boat's name is Bubulina too. For the first 17 years of my life, I actually grew up living on a boat for half of the year, and so that lifestyle was something that for the past 10 years I've been dreaming for again.
My name's Alfred Taylor. I'm from Albemarle, North Carolina, and my boat's name is Pasha. I left to go sailing. It was a personal journey for me, just kind of to figure out what it was I wanted my future to look like and meet new people and form those good relationships, and sailing just seemed like a really good opportunity to do that. So.
My name is Phoebe. I'm from Michigan, and my boat name is Bella. My sailing story started before I was born, with my parents sailing around the world, and then I grew up racing and sailing small boats in Michigan on the lakes. The first month living in the Virgin Islands, I was definitely lonely and felt vulnerable living aboard by myself. And I had to go ashore and make an effort to find social interaction every day.
Hey y'all, I'm Lexi, I'm from Southwest Florida. Boat's name is Sadie. I'll never forget the day I decided I wanted to live on a boat. I was sitting on a beach in Mexico, surrounded by all my van friends. I'd been out fishing all day, we were eating the fish, we were in the sun and in the water, and it was just the best day ever. And I look out to the horizon and I see a boat sailing by, and I had been thinking, what could be better than this? And I'm like, that's it right there. I want to be living on a boat, doing everything I'm doing right now, and that would just be the ideal life.
I did not have that many sailing friends before setting off. Sea People was incredibly helpful at meeting new people.
How many friends did I have before I departed? 0.
I knew absolutely no one who had lived this style before. I followed a few people on Instagram, of course, but had never truly met anyone that was cruising or sailing or boating or in the Bahamas or anything like that.
I think one lesson I learned in my cruising experience is that experiences are much better when they're shared with somebody. Out of Phoebe, Lexi, and Xander was the first one I met, and we actually met at the boat show last year in Annapolis.
I remember when I first downloaded the app, I saw Alfred on there. I thought it was so cool to see someone young, someone around my age, someone else doing this, and we were in the same general area. We were in Florida, I think, at the time, and we connected on Sea People and then just continued to watch and follow each other's tracks. And I think I actually messaged him first and was like, hey, like introduced myself and what's your plans? What are you up to? What are you doing? Do you want to meet up?
I first saw Phoebe cruising around on the Sea People app on the map feature, and I said, oh my God, like I have a dog named Phoebe, like they have to meet. And so I reached out and dinghied over that same day, and we hung out for a few hours and had some tea and chatted for a long time.
And then after that, pretty much between each charter, we met up, we buddy boated, we free dove. I swam over to his boat one morning with some friends and he made us pancakes.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was great.
Lexi and I had been in contact on the Sea People app, kind of following each other in our trips. And she had saw that I was underway and heading towards Georgetown, and she messaged me, and then we decided to connect in Georgetown when I got there.
It was like meeting a celebrity when we first met because I had been following this man online and on the app, reading all his stuff, and it was just so exciting to finally have a friend.
And I was excited, I was stoked, you know, I hadn't really hung out with people my age, let alone women, in a while, so yeah, I was excited, and we went out and drank and had a good time, and you know, it was fun. I really did. That was a turn point in the experience, for sure.
The beautiful thing about making this connection through Sea People is that it's lasting. So we're at a wedding right now that she invited me to, and we have plans to go get our yacht master's licenses together and then start working together on a catamaran as well. And none of that would have been possible without Sea People.
I left Annapolis, where I'd first met Xander, and then I moved down to North Carolina on my way south and stopped in Beaufort, and I saw that Xander had pulled into town, so we went and shot some pool and grabbed some beers in town right there in Beaufort, North Carolina.
I've been used to traveling solo a lot, and meeting these friends has truly changed the trajectory of the rest of my travels.
Yeah, this particular group, we explored the Exumas together. So we started out in Georgetown, we're there for the regatta, did all that together, and then we just explored the whole chain before we split up at the end of the Exumas.
I'm obviously very inexperienced and was then and still am now, and so having him just around to bounce ideas off of or run through routes together or just get quick tips and plans and places and all those things, it was just such a blessing, and it would have been such a different trip if I didn't have that.
In the moment that I was going down to Georgetown, I was kind of in a slump, just hadn't really met as many people as I was expecting. My fishing wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. And then when I got down to Georgetown, things just kind of flipped the switch.
Yeah, when we met each other, I never would have guessed to be spending the next year working with him, going to Spain to do Yacht Masters, going to this wedding together. I went to Greece earlier this summer to visit him with some friends, and yeah, it's just been amazing.
Basically, friendships have been formed through the Sea People app that, you know, even though we're not together, we're still chatting and we're still commenting on each other's stuff and we're still keeping in touch. And Lexi's in the same state as me, but we're not together. And Xander's right next to me, and we've come into contact quite a bit of times, all through the Sea People app. So it's neat, it's cool.
If we had never met, maybe we missed each other at the anchorage or we never connected on the app, I truly think that my entire sailing experience would be so much different. My outlook on this last season would be so much different.
I think it's like a lot of types of travel where you become friends really fast with people, and then you know that you have to say goodbye at some point, but it's cool now that we can keep up with each other, both on SeaPeople and Instagram and just texting.
Yeah, it changed everything. What's up, Xander?
Hey, buddy.
So excited for this swim. I'm unbelievably sweaty from today. Like,
Full day of jungle sweat.
yeah. Could you smell me?
No.
Good.
Can you smell me?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't lift my armpits up. If there's one thing we hope you take from this video, it's a little courage. Courage to finally go after that thing that's been tugging at you for a while. Maybe it's a big lifestyle change, an adventure you've been putting off, quitting the job that's been draining you, learning something new, like Lydia has been with freediving, moving somewhere that scares you a little, or simply choosing a slower, more intentional way to live. Even though chasing those dreams might make you feel lonely at times, remember, you're never truly alone. There are people out there walking the same path, searching for the same sense of freedom and connection. We hope you'll use SeaPeople or any other app and community like it to reach out and find them, because the world really does feel a lot smaller and a lot kinder when you do.
I got the black sword, Letty.
We live in cities you'll never see on screen. Not very pretty, but we sure know how to run things. Living in ruins of the palace within my dreams. And you know, we're on each other's team.
Jai and Lydia started this at 3 p.m.
West as well.
West too. I think everyone's had their hands in there.
Yeah, West has been making all the gnocchi. I abandoned ship about halfway through to go sing, so it's not very good. Sorry, guys.
Is it good, babe?
Incredible.
Lights are flickering, sorry guys, these lights. Next week's episode is a fun one. We're actually doing a deep dive into what it really takes to keep this sailing life going. From choosing our routes and managing the finances, to boat maintenance, schooling the kids, and how we keep them entertained along the way. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it when it goes live. We hope we'll see you there.